Well, are y'all ready for something cool? Let me catch you guys up to speed on what we're doing. My Dakota, if you don't know it, if you're new around here, this is a 92 Dakota, and it's kind of a little unorthodox because we have a 5.3 liter GMLS in it that runs pretty darn good. However, doesn't run good enough, right? So we're going to throw some nitrous at it. So there, you're caught up. I have purchased a used nitrous setup from a friend of mine. And I've actually done a little bit today already. Mounted the solenoid. I took this bracket that came with it and put a 90-degree bend on it and drilled a hole in the middle of it. And now it's pretty stout there. Now we need to run all of our nitrous lines. I am going to have to wire it as well, which is probably going to be something I do on my own, but I'll show you guys that a little bit later. What I've been doing up to that is rewiring the truck and putting a new wiring panel in, rewiring my Poly Terminator X, shortening up the harness, took care of a lot of stuff, just trying to clean some stuff up, make it nice and easy. And now I'm going to use all of these miscellaneous parts to hook up my nitrous system. So we're going to be running a dry progressive nitrous system through the Poly Terminator X. Got all the fun stuff to do that. We've got the solenoids. This is a solid state relay. Got all kinds of fun lines. This is my purge valve, which I think was originally a regular nitrous valve. But we're going to use it for a purge. Got a little bracket for it too. Here is our main feed line. And that's probably what we're going to run first. And then a whole bunch of fittings. Some from Evil Energy, some from NX. Some from Summit Racing. We got a lot of stuff, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna kind of get organized here and we'll get started plumbing this thing. One thing I didn't just go over is I recently mounted my nitrous bottle and bracket. I got this aluminum bracket off of Amazon, pretty reasonably priced. It was like 93 bucks, but it's a really nice piece. It's stout, nothing's going anywhere. And I already have this kind of in line. This is a nitrous hose. It's got a nitrous filter. And then we're going to come from this and go up to the front of the truck. So likely I need to pull this line off. So I need to do a couple things first. We're going to mount a gauge right here so I can see what the wallow pressure is. And then put a 90-degree on it and then head it and figure out where we need to drill a hole. So that doesn't sound too terrible, does it? Let me get stuff together. Let's get started there. So here we go. This will be fun. Nitrous bottle gauge. It's a large bottle gauge because I am getting older and no longer have the eyesight that I used to have. And I got a adapter, which is a -4 female to a -4 male with an 1/8 inch line in there. So, or sorry, 8 NPT, 1/8 NPT. So let me get this stuff taken apart, get ready to install it. All right. I'm going to throw this guy on here. And look at that, we got a gauge. Cool. Where is my alien wrench? Okay. Now, what you can't see is I'm going to have to do some sort of 90-degree off of here, which I have, and go straight down. Got this off of Amazon. It's a -4 to -4 90-degree. I'm going to throw it on this hose here. And then that's going to go on the end of the line here. It's going to give me an idea of where to drill my hole for my nitrous line. And if you guys can see, it's going to be like right smack dab here in the middle of this bed rung. So I'm going to get out the drill. I'm going to mark it, get out the drill, and get to drilling. Look at that. Look at that. Now, should I use a grommet on a nitrous line? Maybe. All right. Now, come down here. Get this all sorted out. Little grommet in there. There we go. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. I'm good with it. Little 90 degree, got our gauge. Can see that pretty well. Now we got to get started in the engine bay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1/4 inch into -4 and get it installed here in my nitrous solenoid. Oh boy, that's going to be a tight fit. But I think we're going to be okay. Guys, this is an Induction Solutions nitrous solenoid. And with that said, it's got a big feed here that's a 1/4 inch NPT. And I'll show you the other ones, but there's another one here that actually is a bypass that goes to a Purge, and we're going to run it to the Purge. And on this side, if you can see that over here, there is a 1/8 inch, which we have going into a, I think right now it's a -3 fitting. But we're going to change that in a minute. But this is a 1/4 inch to -4 AN line. And I'm going to put a little pipe dope on this. And then we're going to throw it in there. And then we're going to get ready to run the feed line. Now I got some adjustment if I need it, but I think I'm going to be okay. All right. That's good. Now we're going to get the feed line. Okay. I'm going to try to run the feed line. There we go. Back behind the intake manifold. Try to kind of get this ran a little bit. I'm going to go on top of the fuel line. Alright, there we go. Now, there we go. I'm going to throw 90 on it now. And throw 90 on it. Can I get it on there? Or am I going to have to pull that off? I think I'm going to have to pull that off. That's okay. It is a 15 millimeter bolt. Here we go. I do have some flexibility. There's that. There's that. And guys, we're on to something here. Now we're going to get into the interesting stuff. Right here. This was given to me by the sloppy master himself, Mr. Matt Happel, who runs sloppymechanics.com. I'm sure most of you guys know who he is, and was the one I asked, like in a Q&A session, like where should I start on swapping over to E85 and running nitrous with it. So he put out a little video of it, which was awesome and was open to my question and answered a lot of things. And he also was nice enough to send me this Nitrous Express plate kit. And the Nitrous Express plate kit goes in between the throttle body and the intake manifold. So here's my Summit 92 millimeter throttle body. It'll go right here, and it sandwiches in between there, just like that. Now, I'm running into a bit of a problem. I'm going to have to order some parts, but let me show you what's going on. First, I want to show you how the kit works. So this is actually a dry sandwich kit. The thing is, you could run wet. It has two ports. It's got a port here and a port here. And then if you see what's plugged off there are the fuel ports. So I could actually eventually run two kits on this one single plate kit. But at the beginning, I'm just going to run one port. You put the jet in here, you hook up your nitrous line to it, and there you go. The problem is that I'm running into is this no O-ring, and then another O-ring, right? So when we put it on, and I have this Motion Raceworks throttle bracket, long story short is if I don't put a 90 on this right away, it's going to hit this throttle cable, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a minute. So I actually bought a 90 for this, so let me throw it on here. And you're supposed to put a jet in between these, which I already have just to be sure, because it will take up some space. But then this is the setup that I'm going to have to go with, which is excellent. We'll grab the throttle body, throw the throttle body on. I have to go get some hardware for it. But then once it's all on and happy, I'm going to run this line down here to this fitting. Now I'm missing what I need for a 90-degree fitting right there, so I'm going to have to buy one, which is fine. But I was hoping I could maybe just run it straight to the adapter, but because of the throttle cable and the way it works, it would hit the cable itself, which is not ideal. Let's see if I can even do this here. I think it goes in that one. I can't do it one-handed, but that's okay. You get the point. It goes straight out. It would move this up. It would be bad. Not a big deal, but because of that, I have to order another 90-degree, which is okay. So I'll get that on order, and that's a -4. So I'm gonna have to maybe order another -4 line. We'll see. Actually, no, I can do I got some options, but I'm not going to be able to finish fully routing all this stuff until I get an adapter there. So I have to work on that. I need bolts for the throttle body. But then there is another 1/8 inch here that I'm going to eventually pull out, and that's going to go back up to the firewall to mount our Purge solenoid. So I'm going to run into a bit of an issue here with running it this way. I might need to put a 45-degree on that guy. So I've got to order some fittings. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm almost at a stopping point, but I'd like to try to run the rest of this main line down to where I would like it to go. So I'm going to run it through here underneath the fender, and then I'll show you where I end up with it after I get that done. Well, hello. I'm back. It's been a couple days because it took longer to get the parts in that I needed, but I have them all now. So just to recap, we've been running our nitrous lines. We kind of got it ran there. I'm going to change the configuration so we can make that level. I still have a few things to do. I've got to mount the nitrous solenoid. I've got to put the new fittings on everything and get it all hooked up. I need to tighten underneath the truck, which I'll show you that when that's done. And, well, you know, I just got to put some fittings and stuff on. So I'm going to get after it. And then once I'm all done, we'll do a little update. I think that's the best way to do that today, because this is not a specific nitrous install. This is what I'm doing for my truck. And it's a universal kit that I'm making work myself. So this would not be really applicable unless you had the exact same parts I did, which would be a miracle since this is a used kit. So yeah, let me get after it, and then I'll update you guys. Fair? We're mostly done, I think, as far as plumbing. We'll show you this side first. Nitrous line coming up over the fuel rail into the solenoid. This is the out of the solenoid going up to the throttle body. From here, this is a bypass that will go to our purge solenoid. For the purge solenoid, we'll do that next, but I'm not there yet. Got a cool nitrous outlet purge line that we're going to unbend and get bent in the right direction and go up through the cowl right there. So we got a little bit to do. Excuse me. And so, yeah, we run the nitrous line along the firewall all the way back. It goes underneath the truck to the filter and then up through the bottom right here. So we are plumbed in and tightened up. So now let's turn the valve, because there's still some nitrous in this bottle, and I will see if we have any leaks. What's my prediction? We're going to have a leak. That's the prediction. But let's see if it opens and holds pressure. Oh, wow. We're not leaking, guys. We are not leaking. It's holding pressure. Holy cow. Looks to be holding. Y'all see it moving? I don't see it moving. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 500, 600, 725 psi or something like that. It's a good test. It's plenty of pressure. I don't think a difference of 200 psi is going to change anything. Check that out. We're good to go. All right, now I'm on to, I need to make this line for the purge valve. I've got to kind of plan it out here in a second, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, we're on to something. Well, y'all, I was wrong. We had a leak. And because I'm okay, I wish I had it on camera. But this was connected to there. At one point in time. But it was leaking from the gauge on this fitting, which I'm going to have to buy a better one, I think. And, well, it gave up the ghost. And it made a lot of noise and scared crap out of me. And the pressure that was in that line decided to go ahead and escape. Oh boy, some of the things that I learned the hard way. But yeah, so I think I'm going to move on and finish up the Nitrous Purge solenoid. So that is done. And then that'll probably be it for this video because I'm going to have to wait on fittings again. So let me find what I need, show you what we're going to do, and then we'll go from there. All right. So I showed you guys this a little bit ago. This is going to be the purge line. And in order to make the purge line work, I'm going to have to straighten it out some. It does seem like it's aluminum, so it may not be too hard to bend. It's not. Look at that. Not bad. So what I'm going to want to do is come up from my export on, or my outlet on my export. That's not the wrong word. Outlet on my Zex Purge solenoid, which I think again, I think this is a real full-on nitrous solenoid. And I'm going to have to come through here and come out. Well, let me show you. And my plan is to come up through here. Probably going to have to dig a little trench out here, drill a hole here, and come out of the vent right there. So that's the plan. How's it going to work? I don't know. But y'all hang back and let's watch and see what happens. Okay, well, I'm making progress. Got the line bent all up the way I need it. So now I'm going to try to fit the cowl over it, and then we'll have to trim. So, look at a 90 coming out of the solenoid, and we'll go up and underneath the cowl. And I've already test fit the hood. We'll do that again real quick. Sorry, the GoPro died. We're on a cell phone right now, but it does the job. We come over here, got a decent amount of room, and hopefully it fits my relief right there. So we're going to test and find out. I think we're going to be all right. Let me get that thing in place and we'll go from there. There we go. Works. Comes out of the vent right there. Looks like I might have a little bit of room here. Might need to put a little rubber or something on that, or drill that a little deeper. Might drill it a little deeper and kind of go from there. Plus it'll clean it up a little bit. But yeah, I'm onto something. onto something. Well, are y'all ready for something cool? Well, are y'all ready for something cool? Yeah. Well, I was editing video last night so I could try to get this video done and out this morning. When I came across the last couple videos for my outro and realized there was no audio. So here we are. Sorry the video's out a day late. I couldn't get it done last night, so I'm taking care of it right now so I can get it out to you guys on Sunday. But we're all done. All the lines are ran. I've got this all nice and cleaned up now, where the purge line goes up through the cowl. You can see it kind of poking out there. You saw that the purge works, and that's a lot of fun, right? So we're on to something. I got to do probably 5 to 6 hours of wiring still. I have to wire the bottle heater, the finish wiring the E85 gauge, the flex fuel sensor, and then all the solenoids and stuff for the nitrous. So I still got a little bit of wiring to do, and I'll do that off camera, as well as like loading the tune and updating the software and stuff like that. I don't really show what I do with tunes on video. I might when we start testing this, but I am an amateur tuner with the Holly software, and I'm learning as I go. So I don't want to put something out there and be really wrong on something and then somebody else copies it and hurts their motors. That's not something I want to do. So I'll be doing that offline. But we're at a place where we're done. So hopefully the next time you see the truck, we'll be test driving it with some nitrous and making a couple fun passes. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get to the track because it's the end of November. In fact, Thursday's Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving with your families, friends, or however you do it. Hope you guys have a great one. But I don't know when the tracks are going to be open. I live in Houston. We lost our big track, so it's kind of hard to figure out that stuff, especially with my work schedule still being kind of crazy. So I'm still dealing with that. I was hoping that I would at least get my weekends back by now, and I haven't yet. But I'm hoping that changes maybe next week. So hang tight. We'll see. We'll try to get this stuff back out weekly like I used to do it. If not before the end of the year, it'll definitely be after the first of the year, and we'll get back on that schedule like we're supposed to. So let me know what you think. I got some guesses. I'm hoping once we do get it to the track, 100 Shot's going to get this thing at least to 1150s or so. So I don't think that's too high of a goal, because it went 1205 before with the Turbo 400 that was slipping. So with good air, 100 Shot of nitrous, it ought to at least do that. What do you guys think it's going to run? Give me your guesses. I'm curious to find out what you guys think it'll run. Other than that, it does still run now that everything's back together. So that's all working good still. And, well, not far away from finally having this project done. So, well, that's it, guys. Again, have a great Thanksgiving with your families. If you're new to the channel, as I walk around here, you can see we have plenty of stuff to work on. We're about to put a fuel system on Greg's 93 Typhoon. And I'm gonna start working on the Jeep again here pretty soon. So that's a 81 CJ7. So we got those two are immediate projects, but then we got another LS swap with the turbo going here. My Nova's got some. I got to do some wiring and stuff to the Nova. Plus, I got a set of wheels for it. I've got some things. I want to put the Bel Air on airbags. I've got a lot of stuff planned for next year. One really cool project too that we have kind of alluded to, but I think we're finally going to start it this year. So what I'm saying is, if you're new, please consider subscribing, hanging out with us. We'd love to have you. We'd like to interact with you guys when you make comments on the videos. Also, we do social media, Instagram and Facebook at the RacerX Garage. And we do have a little bit of merch. You can check that out at racerxgarage.com. I might do a little something for Black Friday. We don't make hardly anything on the merch that we have, but I'll see if I can try to maybe cut that in half or something. We'll see. I'll make a post on the social media if I'm able to make that happen. So, all right. I'm ready for this journey to kind of be done so we can get this thing to the track and get it to running the way it needs to run. So, thanks a lot, guys. Again, have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next time. Until next time, you know the deal. Y'all be good.